This is the Group 4 presentation on disasters that occurred because of a conversion error. So the one of the disasters that we researched was the Gimli glider, which was a fuel conversion error. So what happened was that the plane, the Boeing 767, was one of the first aircraft in the Air Canada fleet to use metric measurements, which before then it had been all imperial units. So the aircraft needed 22,300 kilograms of fuel to make it all the way from its takeoff to its landing spot. However, there was a broken fuel quantity indicator, um, which means that the ground crew, had to manually calculate how much fuel to load into the aircraft by converting mass or volume to mass, and this is where the error occurred. They used the wrong conversion factor, um, and instead of the proper 0.803 kilograms per liter, they um, calculated using 1.77 pounds per liter. So this obviously is a pretty large difference, and as a result, it was less than half of the fuel needed for the total flight. And they make it about 41,000 feet in the air, kind of right above Manitoba, and they don't have any engines. All the engines have shut off because they ran out of fuel. Um, there are no hydraulics and no main instruments, um, and the pilots have to guide the aircraft in for an emergency landing in Gimli, Manitoba. Um, so over 80 miles was the distance that the aircraft glided, um, which was, they didn't even land at an actual airport. They landed at a decommissioned airfield. They didn't have any reverse thrusters. Um, they didn't have any power. So the only thing they had was a partially locked nose gear, and somehow they um, they didn't have any. They had very minor injuries, and no one was killed in this accident, which is incredible considering um, the fact that they didn't have hydraulics or anything to um, slow the aircraft down or make sure that all the wings would extend like the flaps and stuff. Um, so this obviously sparked a lot of um, changes in fueling procedures and conversion unit training. Um, so yeah, and then we do have the other two disasters: Mars Climate Orbiter and the Korean Air MD-11 crash. Credits.